Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot. Very happy to be here today. Sorry for the delay. A lot of crazy stuff going on with the computers. According to my internet said Facebook is down. I think it's just down for me. So that's just par for the course. So I want to welcome JP to my show. I've actually met him in person. We all went to Montauk as part of the Awakening conference, a day trip, and we made a video of it recently. JP doesn't feature in that video because he was out wandering around somewhere. And but anyway, it was really nice to meet you, JP, and hang with you for a little while. So I understand that you are, well, okay, you don't consider yourself a whistleblower. I'm not sure why not. Maybe you want to explain that.
Well, it's kind of like a not a whistleblower, but like you told me before, like all this information's been out for years. You know, you've been talking about it for years and all that. I'm just implementing the my experience that I have and that I did with the military, yeah, and other people.
Okay, so in this climate that we're in, anybody who brings forward their own experiences, their own information is still a whistleblower. You're calling the whistle on the truth. You're basically trying to bring, eyeballs and ears to what you've experienced and how that backs up the fact that ETs are real and
Mhm.
that whatever else you want to say. I won't put words in your mouth here. So why don't you start out with how you got involved in this whole sector?
Well, my first experience was in Brazil. You know, I went with my wife. I married a Brazilian woman. Uh, she she's a great singer, so we went to Brazil, and she wanted me to meet her family, and I ended up in a farm. And over there in Brazil, the farm is amazing. It's beautiful. There's no light pollution. No, you can see the constellations. And I interacted with a ship. That night that I was in the farm, everybody was sleeping, and I think my uncle, he was awake and he probably saw something, but he stayed put. Because my uncle came with me to Brazil because they didn't want me to go by myself to Brazil. So my uncle did come with me. His last name is Gonzalez. So we went and I interacted with this ship. It's, it's a beautiful ship. And then I interacted with Nordics, these people that look human and they look like us. Okay. They don't look like grays. They don't look like, no, I know they exist. Yeah. The grays, reptilian, all the other, these species that people talk about, they do exist. But I interacted with the Nordics. And after that experience, I came back to the States and I was getting interrogated by military personnel. And but I can't say it's like the military, but they were dressed like military and they acted like military people. And
Okay.
I was getting interrogated by them about my experiences in Brazil.
Okay.
And this
And
was
so when you
before I was
say,
in the military.
okay. So approximately how old were you when this happened? Or how many years ago, or, generally speaking?
17, 18 years ago.
Oh, a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had this experience, you were interviewed or brought, you came back to the US and then you met up with the military. Did they,
They picked me up. They picked me up in the van. They threw me in the freaking van and they brought me to this like white room and they sat me down and they interrogated me like, what the
okay, so
F do
you're
you
not
know?
sure what division of the military they were because you couldn't
No,
recognize them by their uniform. Is that
no,
correct?
they didn't have no patches or nothing, but they had a uniform on.
Okay. And were you scared when they interviewed you?
Hell, the hell yeah, I was scared. I was shitting out of my pants when they interrogated me. And then I told them the truth. I said, yeah, I interacted with these people that came out from a ship. But other than that, I started getting downloads of technology and I started building some crazy ass shit. And my house got ransacked. And then after that, I kept working. And then other military people that I could see the patches on, they told me, hey, in this time, look up and start taking pictures. And I'm like, why me? Like, why am I so special? Uh, and I started doing it. I started taking pictures and I started sending it to Dr. Sala and other people.
Okay, so did he identify himself as working with the military or what?
The other people that told me to take pictures, yeah.
No, I meant you said I don't know, something about Dr. Sala, what you were told to talk to him. Did the military tell you to talk to him?
No, I looked for him myself before I
Oh,
got in, like, not integrated, but before the other people told me to take pictures.
okay. So now where were you living at this time when you got picked up in the van and all that stuff? Where was your
Tampa,
house?
Florida, by MacDill Air Force Base.
Okay. So and but at that point you had not been in the military, right?
No, no, I didn't know nothing about military. I wanted to join the military, but I did not know nothing about the military. I
Okay.
knew in
And you
upstate
were
New
a
York when I
musician,
was
weren't you?
smaller, they used to take me in different parts of the school and then take me to another location to do tests on me. But other than that, I don't remember nothing else. That's the only weird thing I thought when I was younger, you know. But other than that,
Okay, so you were a musician, weren't you?
I am a musician.
Okay. Back in
I
those
work with
days, though, you were a musician, right?
I was a musician, so I used to travel to Puerto Rico, to New York, Tampa, Orlando. I used to be, you know, a piano. I play piano, guitar, drums, any kind of instruments you give me, I can play. So I worked for a lot of big labels, and that's it.
Okay. So you decided to contact Sala. He wasn't recommended to you by the military people you met with, though.
No, no, he wasn't recommended. When I first came back, because I come from a Christian background, as you know, I wanted to know what the heck happened to me, and I thought it was something, evil or something, wrong that happened to me. So I wanted to investigate, people that have done research in this field. So I looked him up, and I found his number, and I called him, and he's like, "How do you get this number?" I'm like, "Oh, no, no, I found it online." So, um, and he started interviewing me about my experiences and all that.
Okay. And then he wrote a bunch of books about you, right? As well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wrote Army Insider. I got him right here. U.S. Army. I don't want to promote in your channel, but yeah, U.S. Army Insider missions 3, 1, and 2. So
Okay, but when
they're
did you
talking about
become an Army insider? Before or after you met him?
how did I become an Army Insider before?
Yeah, I mean, you said you weren't in the military, you just were picked up and then you looked for his name and so on and so forth. So he's suddenly calling you an Army insider. Where did he
Mhm.
get that idea? Did you join the military? Did they recruit you, the guys that picked you up?
No, they did not recruit me, but I was interacting with military people.
Uh-huh. Somebody must have recruited you or you joined the military somehow. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah, I joined the military like almost 5 years or 6 years ago. Uh, when I joined the military, I was forced in Orlando, Florida, to join the military. So I went to a recruiting section
You were
of,
forced? Sorry. I mean,
well,
who forced you?
these people dressed in black clothes. They
Oh,
came up to me and said, "Hey, join the military, and these other people are going to leave you alone."
I
And I
see.
said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to do it because I have a family, and I was being followed, and I'm still being followed, still being attacked as everybody that gives out these types of information, and it's scary. I don't like to bring it out. I'm not a tough guy either. I'm human. Uh, it's just I do get attacked. People probably think I don't get attacked, but I don't like to talk about it. It's nobody's business what happens in my life. You
Well,
know,
what if there's other people being attacked? Don't you think that it's good if people know? I mean, I've
yeah,
been attacked. I'm not shy
yeah,
about it.
yeah. I know you've been attacked. Yeah,
They tried to kill me. In fact, they told me, a top whistleblower told me they were gonna kill me. But I think somebody intervened on my behalf, and maybe they did the
mhm.
same thing with you. So, okay, so let's get back to Sala because you somehow you contacted him, and then after you contacted him, the military said you need to join them, or somebody said the ones in the black uniforms, they said that you needed to join the military.
Yeah. They said, join the military, and the other guys will leave you alone because we're gonna protect you.
Okay. So you joined the military and you did some very professional type jobs, didn't you?
I did. I worked a little bit for NASA. I worked a little bit for Seventh Group Special Forces Unit and GSB section. I was a 91 Juliet. I dealt with uh, purification of water and biological, you know, type of warfare. So
Okay. And this is just, you didn't have any schooling prior to that in this field?
no, no, I was actually a pool guy. Um, but I did music for a little bit, but the music industry is like you came from Hollywood, so
Yeah, it
music
doesn't
in
pay the
Hollywood,
bills.
yeah,
Mhm.
it doesn't pay the bills, not unless you get a good gig that hits really good, and
Right.
that never happened to me. So I did pools, and I knew about the chemistry of water and all that. So,
Oh, because you were a pool guy.
well, I built types of saltwater pools and other types of pools.
Okay. And this was on your own. Was it before your, I don't know if you call it an ET abduction or meeting? How do you?
This was when I worked for the pool.
Well, you said you built saltwater pools. I assume you did that on your own, not for the military, right?
No, yeah, not for the military. You're right.
So where'd you get the idea? Like, was it from the ET abduction, or did you just think of it in your own head, decide to do that?
No, they gave me the job in the military and I took it. But it kind of like side up to what I used to do.
Okay. So they looked at your skill set and they put you in a certain category in the military once you joined. So did you have to go through like boot camp type thing? I
Yes,
don't.
yes. I went to Fort Jackson,
Okay.
and then I went to Fort Lee, Virginia, and then I went to Fort Benning, Georgia for airborne school. And then I went to Seventh Group Special Forces
Okay.
Unit.
So for air, what did you say? Airborne or air what?
Airborne trooper. So I was an airborne trooper as
A
well.
paratrooper?
A
Is that a
paratrooper.
paratrooper?
You could, yeah.
Okay. So you learned those skills in the military, right?
I learned those skills in the military. Yeah.
Okay. So that was during however many years you were in the were you in the same division of the military or did you get transferred around? Kind of sounds like you were transferred
Yeah, I
around.
was transferred around. Yeah.
And was it always the Army or did you go into other branches?
Well, as you see the map, the seventh group is in Eglin Air Force Base, is based inside of Eglin Air Force Base. So it's part of the Air Force Base. So I was
Oh,
basically in the Air Force Base. Yeah.
oh, all right.
With Sixth Ranger Regiment is also there, and also some types of recon and DoD Marines. So it's a mixture of military branches that are, Eglin is one of the biggest Air Force base in the United States.
What state is it in?
Florida.
Oh, really? Okay. So here you are, a musician and a pool guy, and then somehow you get abducted, and then the military kind of abducts you in a certain way, right? You didn't know which branch, they were just guys in black, right? And then you get recruited into the Army, starting with the Army, and then ended up in the Air Force. So, were you in good physical condition when you got recruited or,
I
into the
was,
Army?
I was, and I still,
So, because it seems to me that you would have to be.
yeah.
And did all that training take, was it like, how many years was that going on, all of that?
This was during the beginning of COVID that all this was happening.
Okay, so COVID started in 2018, was it? Or 20, no, 2020, actually, officially.
Mhm.
So it wasn't until 2020 that you were doing all that?
Yeah, yeah. I actually graduated when COVID broke out, and we were the
Okay.
first. We were the first one that did not receive people to celebrate our our graduation in
Oh,
Fort Lee, Virginia, and no, in Fort Jackson.
I
So
see.
it kind of
That's,
sucked.
yeah. So you didn't get an audience or whatever they do, right?
No.
Okay, so okay, so just so people kind of can put these two things together. One, you saw some Nordics, you got involved or talked to them or whatever. And then you had this whole series of thing go on where you kind of got contacted and brought in to the military in a kind of a roundabout way by these men in black kind of outfits. And we have had whistleblowers describe those guys. They're military, but they wear just all black. They don't have insignia. So you can't say what branch they're actually with, right?
Yeah, and they're rude as hell. They're asses. You know, they don't care. They will eliminate you if you just say or disagree anything with them.
Yeah. Have you ever talked to Michael Herrera?
I heard of him. I've heard of
Oh, but
Michael
you didn't
Jordan.
talk to him. Okay, because
No.
his guys in a jungle in Indonesia met up with those same kind of guys. They were all in black. They were military, clearly, and they acted like they would just kill him if they didn't like what they said.
Yeah, yeah, they will
That's what he
eliminate you.
said.
Yeah, they will eliminate you.
Okay, so that must have been a really jarring, exciting, and not so easy time, right? Going through all that.
It's not easy, especially if you have family, because you always gotta have your head in the swivel and be careful. Yeah.
Right. And so how did you explain why, like, did you put a lot of thought into joining the military or did you just do it overnight?
Well, a lot of people was telling me not to do it because once I joined the military, they were going to control my life and control everything that I was going to do. I was going to be part of the government, you know. So,
Uh-huh.
once you sign those papers, you are their territory. They can do whatever they want with you. So it was a big decision for me, but I was also looking at the financial
Sure.
issues in my family. So I said, okay, just let me serve, for a couple of years and let's see what happens.
Now, weren't you some kind of a airplane mechanic or do I have that wrong? Didn't you do some kind of mechanical thing?
I did like when you enter to the army, you enter with one MOS, meaning one job, but you're trained to do so many jobs. I was a translator, I speak three or four languages. I helped with the chapel. I helped with the NASA training people from other countries in Naskias. It's right down the street. Uh, we traveled to different places to train other people to do
Okay,
certain
train
things.
them to do what?
How to build types of boat motors or purification systems that can.
Okay, so were you like, I don't know, I would call that sort of an idiot savant. Were you like a mechanical guy that just knew what to do type of thing? Or because it doesn't sound like your background had that training,
Well,
right?
I can they you can put anything in front of me. I can just build it back up
That's what I mean.
type of thing. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so
but I
that's
dealt I
great.
dealt with water purification systems, like
Okay, but
that's
you
what I
also
dealt
were
with.
training people. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of like you go from just joining, walking in the door to training people. I mean, that's kind of a leap, right?
Yeah, it is a leap. It is a leap for some people.
And did they explain to you why they were letting you kind of leap? and do all these different things?
Uh, well, well, the person that told me to bring out this information out, I have a person that, gave me the green light to talk.
Okay, we might call that a sponsor, but you don't like that word, so I don't know what you want to call it. He your commanding officer? Do you call him that or not?
No, no, I just, I know he's up there. He's up in the lines,
Okay, so he was kind
and
of guiding you through the process.
he's connected to Washington. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
but he guided you in the military, or he was your liaison with the military. Would you say that?
Since I started taking the photos in McDill, and Orlando, I got photos, I got videos, of ships flying over my house, and they're real. It's not AI. I was taken with regular phones, and they have been, tested with other devices that yes is real.
I mean,
And
you put some of this stuff online, haven't you?
I have,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so because you had kind of an unusual military experience, so to speak. I think most people, go like this straightforward path where they have to go through this and then this, and it takes them many years and so and so. But you were already sort of kind of shifting around. They must have done a profile on you and decided that you had talents aside from your ET contact talent, whatever you want to call that. You also had your own talent, right? You have special talent or ability, kind of. I mean, musician, engine builder, water, peer, whatever you call that. Um, you know, so how did the other military guys treat you? Did they not think that you were being treated special or something like that?
Well, there was a couple people there that was doing the same thing I was in
Oh,
the same
okay.
place. So there was like two or three guys that I knew that they were going to other types of missions and other things that I wasn't involved in, but I seen them, when I was doing my missions, and
And did they have special talents? Like, I don't know whether they consider you to be like a precog or a ET communicator or any of this stuff, because those are the skill sets that you would need to qualify for certain things, I imagine, in the military. So
well
those
they
other
they
people,
they knew I had like a ability to bring them down, like to
right?
bring the UFOs down, psionic
Oh,
abilities to bring them down. So, uh,
okay. So to call in well, I mean, no offense, but that's not such a big special thing. There are a lot of humans that are doing that, you know.
yeah,
You know
I
that,
agree.
right? I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree.
did you ever see the Steven Spielberg TV series called Taken?
No, no, but I know he's doing a new movie calling it Disclosure Day. So
Yes.
it's going to be
No, I'm
really
talking
good.
about years ago. He did after Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as far as I know, what he did was a TV series called Taken. You might, you can get it on Amazon or, watch it. It's a series, and I don't know if it's got tons of episodes, but it's quite good because it kind of depicts what it's like to be a contactee, if you want to call that.
Hmm.
I'm a contactee, so I totally get it. Okay. And
Hmm.
some of us have special abilities that attract the ETs. Now, do you think that you had a family line that attracted them, or were you unique in your family?
My grandpa had an experience. My dad had an experience in Arecibo, Puerto Rico,
Oh,
near he interacted with the ball of fire, and he never told nobody about it. But when he told me, my eyes went, woo, okay. Um, so I think it's a generational thing, like you say. Yeah, it is. I think
okay.
they've been,
Is your father still alive?
yes, he is still alive.
Okay. And is he proud of you?
He is proud of me. He wish I wouldn't talk about these things, but he's proud of
Oh,
me.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Just curious, how the other half lives. Why doesn't he want you to talk about them? What does he think is a
He come,
stigma?
you know,
Stigma?
he comes from a Christian background,
Oh.
so talking about it is like,
Oh, right. You come from sort of a line of pastors, correct? In
yeah.
the Catholic Church.
No, no, not Catholic, Christian.
The Chris in a Christian church. Well,
Christian
usually it
church.
has
Yeah.
to be something
Well,
Catholic,
it's actually
all the different kinds.
my church was a Jewish Messianic church,
What kind?
a Jewish Messianic.
So you were Jewish, you were preaching the Jewish religion?
Well, is a Messianic. We believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. Orthodox Jews believe that Jesus was a prophet or something like that. So,
Okay, are you Jewish?
not Jewish. My parents from Puerto Rico, but the the church that it is like Christian Jewish. It's like a Jewish Messianic.
Huh. Okay, that's kind of interesting. All right. So when you were in the military, you had one guy, you said, was that guy a military guy, or you sort of said he's in Washington? So is he just a, high level, like a congressperson or somebody involved in intelligence, the intelligence community that kind of fostered you through the military, guided you or whatever, opened doors, right?
Well, not open doors. He just told me what to say, not to say.
Guided you.
Yeah,
That's guidance. I mean, I would say.
yeah.
But anyway, so okay, just curious. So he was not military himself, or had he been military at some time in his life?
I think he's been military in his life.
Okay, because if you're going to interact with the military and you're going to be like that, there has to be some connection, one would
Yeah,
think.
I think he's a ex-military.
Okay. So, okay, so now let's progress the story. So you joined the military, you got into all these different divisions, you ended up training people. How long were you in the military before you were starting to train people?
4 years,
Okay,
maybe 3 years. Yeah,
3 or 4 years. All right. And did you, rank? Do you have a rank in the military?
yeah. I was an E4.
Okay. I'm sure I'm not a military person, most obviously, but
Well, I'm considered a specialist. So E4
okay.
is a specialist.
All right. Now, are you a precog? Do you think you know things before they're going to happen?
Yeah,
Okay. And did they try to use you in that skill set?
yeah,
Okay. So at some point, and you can take over the sort of narrative anytime, I'm just trying to sort of help you along, but you started going to these space arcs. To me, they're just UFOs on the surface of the the ocean, or not
they're
on the
huge.
surface.
Yeah,
Okay. Because we have known about undersea UFOs forever, but now they have a special name that they gave them, which is space arc, right?
yeah. Space
That's
arcs.
that suggests, the arc idea suggests that they can leave wherever they are and go to outer space. Would you agree?
Well, that is the reason why they call them the space arcs is because they have archives of past uh civilizations inside of it, and
Okay, so like a library.
it's like a massive library that once you enter this massive library, it turns alive, and it's still like working, and it's all over the place. I talked about this in Redacted with Clayton. They're all over. They're in China, they're in Ukraine, they're in Russia, they're in the United States,
But
South
they're undersea, right?
Korea. We got some of that are undersea in the
Okay.
Pacific. That one in the Pacific is about to move mountains. That's where they're saying, and the one in the Atlantic is moving around. Um, the one in under Oleski Sands in Ukraine, somehow they're fighting for it, and they found something else in Greenland, and they found something else in South Korea under some massive building. I can't
Okay.
talk a lot
So
about that.
these gigantic UFOs that they call arcs that also have a like it sounds like they maybe have a genetic library, but they have a library of materials and information. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, they have a lot of information of past civilizations that are from Earth and not from Earth.
Okay. And are they all run by different races or all the same race?
It looks like the same. They all look cut and paste. Like they all have the same room in one area. They all have a certain room that is a certain size in one area. So it looked like they were made in a massive factory. And
Oh, okay. But
so they
I'm
all
asking you if the beings that run them, are they human or they're ETs?
they're human, like they Nordics.
You think they're Nordics?
I Yeah, they're Nordics.
Okay.
The ones that are running these massive ships.
Okay. Now, what you said, I don't know if I understood what you meant, but you said something about one, I think you said it was somewhere, maybe off the coast of Florida or the Pacific, where you said it was, what do you mean by moving mountains? Did I get that wrong?
No, you didn't get that wrong. I gotta be careful how I say this. Hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Um, it's gonna shake mountains. This one arc in the Pacific.
Why would it do that?
It's gonna activate something on Earth.
Okay, is it going to cause earthquakes and are people going to die?
Something like that. I don't know if people are gonna die, but yeah, it could cause massive earthquakes around the world. Yeah,
Okay, now why do you think they would do that?
don't know. Uh,
Okay.
and it's not my business what the heck they do. Who am I? I'm
Well, I mean, are they going to affect Florida? It might be your business if it affects you and your family, right?
yeah, yeah. It's gonna affect everybody. It's not just Florida. This can affect
Okay, and this particular, is it all the arcs are going to do things like this, or is it just this particular one? Or do you know?
I don't know. It could be all of them, or it could be just that one. It could be
Okay, and where is that one? Where it, now, Jen, I don't expect you to tell me exactly, but generally speaking,
off the coast of California and south from Hawaii.
charming. Okay, very charming. Okay, so because, I guess I don't know how much you follow all this stuff, but I have a physicist that I interview all the time, Richard Allen Miller, and he's worked in the secret space program for most of his life. He's still working for Navy intelligence. And when he comes on my show, especially lately, he's really focused on the volcano off the coast of California, Crescent City area. And it's connected directly with what's called the Juan de Fuca fault. So are you familiar with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm familiar with that. Yeah, and there's
Because
like
I have a
they're
whistleblower.
saying Burchett said that there's an alien base somewhere around there too, as well, something like that.
Okay. Well, there's Mount Shasta for sure, but that's not right there by Crescent City, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
It's further south, I think it is. Anyway, so the Juan de Fuca fault line, if it does get triggered, will make all the volcanoes on the west coast activate, and especially Mount Rainier, for example, is one of the specific ones. I've
Hmm.
seen this in a precog of the future. So I'm also interested in all this. And I had a whistleblower called Eddie Page who claimed to be a Pleiadian, but I think he might have been a dark side Pleiadian in the end of the day. But he was trying to warn people that there was going to be the Juan de Fuca fault line was going to be activated and there was going to be massive earth changes because of that. So, did you ever hear of that person, Eddie Page?
No, I haven't heard about
Okay.
80 page, but I have heard that 10,000 earthquakes might occur because of this situation.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like a good guy's UFO, does it?
Um, yeah, I think it depends how you see time and how you see what's happening around the world. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it could be bad for humanity. Yeah, yeah. It
Okay, well, let's
can't be
say
good.
if it
But
was the good guys, wouldn't they want to be doing something good rather than um, causing earth changes that would cause a lot of death and destruction.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're
Okay,
right.
well,
Well,
hypothetically, so when you go to these arcs, do you interact with whoever is in charge of them? Or do you, because I know at least your depiction, I think you have some graphics about it, where you show yourself with other military people that you kind of go as a group. You don't go by yourself, correct?
yeah, yeah. We go as a group always to these places. It's not just the arcs. You know, we have been to different spots as well.
Okay,
Uh,
did you go to Nazca?
the Nazca lines. You talk about Nazca?
Yeah, there's a cave system
Yeah,
and
I've
there's
heard
a whole story that hit
I've
the
heard about
news.
people from our spot, yeah, that have been there, but I haven't been there
Okay.
personally. I know what happened over there. Yeah.
Okay. So when you're on these arcs, you're interacting with Nordics. Are you interacting with any other kind of species?
No, I haven't interacted with no other species. But there is other types of people and I guess species that try to remote view into the system and you can feel their
Uh-huh.
presence, but other than that, no.
Okay, so when getting back to your military history, when did that happen, that interaction with the Ark and when you went undersea? And have you visited more than one? And what years was that? Was that during your training or was that after your training? You
That
know,
was after my training, after I was stationed in seventh group. So,
you
um,
were stationed where?
seventh group,
I don't understand that word.
seventh group, Special Forces
Seventh
Unit,
group. Oh, I thought, well, okay, you were stationed, but where? A place, like even generally speaking, Florida,
Florida,
another
Florida,
state.
Eglin Air Force
Oh, it's,
Base.
it's still there. Okay.
Yeah,
So during that time, you were going down to these space arcs, correct?
yeah. During that time, I was signaled out. You know that app signal. Everybody get a text message. We go to this location. They pick you up. They take you to another location. They Black Hawk you out, or they Osprey you out to another location. You either go to a plane or a private jet or another Black Hawk or a TR-3B type of
Okay.
vehicle
How
that takes
many
you
how many of your guys would be in the group you were in?
like 8 or 6 or 5, depending what we were doing. And only 1 or 2 I knew, but the others were like Marines or other type of branches, or probably Delta Force that they never talked to us.
Okay. So
They thought
why
as us like shit or just helpers or some shit like that.
okay, why did you go there? Do you know what your job was?
I felt like I was there to activate certain things on certain locations, or to tell them where certain things are on certain locations.
Undersea?
Under the sea, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the arcs are undersea, so if you're going to
yeah,
tell them where
under the
things
sea,
are,
yeah, under the sea.
then undersea. Okay.
Uh, Me and some other guys knew the coordinations where they were, and they knew it too. So they just wanted to
Okay,
confirm
what
it.
were you looking for undersea? Were you looking for weapons that had been buried there, or other kinds of arcs, or other kinds of installations that ETs have built? What were you, are you able to say? Are you at liberty to say?
Oh, if these arcs or ships fall in the wrong hands, yeah, they could be used as weapons. So
Okay,
the
but
ship
you went
itself
to
is like
visit the
alive.
arc. You went to visit the Ark, you visited the Nordics, but what were you doing for them if you were pinpointing things under the sea? What
So
types of
the
things?
before I went to the ARC, the military was already there. Okay.
Yeah.
They're already investigating these arcs.
Okay.
Okay. And these arcs got different types of portals that connect to other arcs. They
Okay.
got one in the moon, they got one on the Pacific, they got one under Lechke Sands, they got one in Brazil in Cartas Novas and Goiás, a state in Brazil. They got one in White Sands. That's why I kind of put out there, why are they closing down the airspace by White Sands, where we said that there's a type of ship there. So And these ships are they come in different sizes, Cassidy. They come in different sizes, and they're in different locations around the world. And the militaries, not just the government of the United States, the militaries around the world, they're working together. Um, and this is where I told you in the beginning, and I'll try and be transparent, that we have to be careful, that nobody talks about Project Blue Beam or a fake alien invasion might happen, um, if all this information comes out. So I'm sure it's going to come out. The what? When is it? The when President Trump is going to address the nation? Is it the
Well, it used
24th?
to be July 8th. Now somebody's saying it's like the 24th or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that Tuesday. Yeah, the 24th Tuesday. He's going to address, and I think um, depending how things go by now and there, he might announce something like this.
Okay, what do the
I'm not saying
arcs have
nothing.
to do? What do the arcs have to do with a fake alien invasion? What's that got? Those two things don't necessarily sound related.
Well, people are going to try to say that these ships are coming out from these arcs or these cities that
Oh,
they're finding under the oceans, and that we have to be careful and it might, and this is where I jump in with with the arc in the Pacific causing all these earthquakes. They're gonna think that the ship causes, but it's not really the ship. It's something that they're doing to the ship that is activating something around it that can cause uh this situation. So it's not the ship.
okay.
It's not the ship. As you know, a trucker can drive a semi, right? But if a toddler starts riding the semi, he's going to cause destruction. So it's something like that, the
So they're
analogy I'm trying
being,
to bring.
well, that suggests they're being taken over.
Yeah, they're trying to take over these arcs. Yeah, the black hats, the assholes.
Okay.
Sorry, I never
And
curse.
okay. But okay, so you're saying that the military from time to time sends groups of you, of people like you, whatever you want to classify that as, military people though, to these various arcs with a purpose in mind. And in this particular one, with the California one, it is known that it may destabilize or trigger the earthquake, the fault lines in California, such to create earthquakes that would be destructive. So you're suggesting that there's been an infiltration of at least one of these so-called arcs. They're not just Nordics. Some of the people or beings that are affecting it are coming from outside the arc, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so are you trying to protect the arc?
it's knowledge that if we have this knowledge, it could change the way we live, Carrie. If they try to destroy this, it's like I think it's destroying us, if they
Okay,
try
so
to
you are
destroy the
protecting it because you sound like you would be upset if they destroyed the arc, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
would be
so
upset
you're
if these arcs are tampered or destroyed.
okay,
Or
so are you in battle with ETs when you go to those arcs? From outside, I'm talking.
no, no, but we do feel like the presence of somebody like spying in.
Oh,
Like,
okay. So your skill set would be to use your various, abilities to stop infiltration or invasion of those arcs or that one in particular, right?
yeah, yeah. When I went to Japan, that's what happened. In one of the, I got taken, and they brought me to one of these arcs. People dressed in black with masks, and there was a major fight. I can remember bits and pieces of it, but and then they brought me back to the hotel in Tokyo, and yeah, it was a weird experience. So for me, it felt real. For me, it felt physical. but you know the spiritual realm, you know the mind, how it is, the consciousness, how the military or other governments around the world know how to weaponize the consciousness and weaponize
Sure.
everything
But
that we think, you
but
know.
it was if it was a mission, you were sent on it, right? By the
Well,
US
it was a
military.
forced mission. It wasn't a mission. These people like
Abducted you?
abducted me, yeah, and took
Really?
me to, yeah.
When did that happen, approximately? You
That
know?
happened last year when I was in Tokyo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how did you get rescued?
The Nordics, they showed up. There was one Nordic there, and then the other Nordics showed up, and the ship itself eliminated these guys somehow, and I just brought back to the hotel. Don't remember how I really came back, but I came back to the hotel, and I got,
Okay, and that was a hotel in Japan.
yeah.
Okay, so when they abducted you, did they abduct you to an ark off the coast of Japan?
I think they abducted me to the Pacific Arc that's under Hawaii
Oh, really? It's
and
not
Baja
very
California. Yeah.
close. Okay. Are you aware of the gray ET base under Hawaii?
I'm aware of the Devil's Triangle, yeah, and right there is similar to the Bermuda Triangle, and it's the Devil's Triangle connects to Japan, Hawaii, and also a little bit more south. I don't know what other country it connects to, but south from um, yeah, Hawaii, there's grays or whatever you want to call them, negative entities that live there,
Okay.
demonic, if you want to call them that. I don't know.
Okay. So you was that you by yourself, or did you get abducted with in a group?
No, it was me by myself.
Okay. And why did they want you? Like why what did they tell you why they abducted you?
Well, I was doing a talk in Japan. I was talking over there, similar to what we did in New York.
Okay.
Um, and I think they knew I was there.
I
So
see.
they knew the hotel, they knew the location, and yeah.
So then Nordics, were there other, I mean, I guess you came back, you were debriefed, as it's called. I mean, you got rescued by the Nordics, right?
Yeah.
And did you get transported like back to the US from there? I mean, how did that
No,
work?
no. We stayed there like 2 more weeks after that happened. I went to Kyoto. I went to Osaka. Had something else to do over there.
Okay,
Mount
so
Fuji.
again, why did they abduct you? For what purpose? What did they want to gain from you?
They wanted access to certain parts of the arc, I assume.
That you mean access that you know about because you're not in the ark when they abducted you, right? Or were you?
I can't hear you. Somebody's trying to call me through my
Oh,
computer and my phone. I'm sorry about that.
that's
Can you
okay.
repeat that?
Okay, I was just trying to get the story straight as far as who abducted you and what was their
I
purpose.
think it was the black hats that was trying to get access into the ark.
Into the ark where? The one off the Pacific coast?
The one off the Pacific coast.
I
Yes.
see. Did you happen to ask
Look, I'm
any
not
of
lying.
your,
They're trying to call
sorry?
me. Hold on.
The military is trying to call you? I mean, can you just put, so what if you're getting a phone call? Lots of people get phone calls during shows.
Yeah,
If you
I
need to
hear you.
take it, we can wait, I guess.
Yeah. Let me silence my phone. Hold on.
Or you could just tell them you're on a show. And I
Yeah.
won't keep you for too much longer. I don't,
Hold on.
I know we're late starting, but
I'm on a show. Can I call you back? I'm on a show.
you know how to text?
Yeah. Hold on. There we
Hola,
go.
comprende?
Yeah,
Uh,
comprendo.
comprendo. Okay, fine.
All right. I'm texting.
Okay, well, we'll just sit here and wonder about other things that might have happened to you. I'm just trying to kind of get a picture of whether, are you always operationally on your own, or do you have like a team that you always work with so that you feel comfortable among those people?
When I was in the military, yeah, it was like a team that you felt comfortable. Sometimes it was random other people, but that have been through the same situation that you have. But now that I'm out, I'm a veteran. I'm having these other experiences, and it's like a different types of people that interact. Uh, it's connected to the military. They're connected to other militaries. They're connected to um, other companies, and this is nuts. It's just
Okay,
I,
so for example, because we know that Department of Energy is very involved in the secret space program, we also know that there's lots of corporations, Lockheed, Bechtel, you name them, right? They're all involved
yeah. I used
in
to
this.
install cameras also for Lockheed and other companies as well. I used to do
Okay.
that as a job.
Okay, so I don't know if I have a chat room on this sort of YouTube because I was going to say maybe people would want to ask. Oh yeah, I do. So I don't know if you want to take any questions, but there might be some questions here. I could kind of try to look. I'm not going to guarantee you because I don't use this that often, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, just want to say, so is there anything that, you and I went back and forth and on whether you would come on my show and all that kind of thing for
Yeah,
actually months, right? Because you were worried that I was going to attack you or do something, right?
yeah, to be transparent, yeah. You are the type of person you want the truth. I kind of understand where you're coming from, and I understand who you are, and you're really protective also. And you came to me in the end, and you patted me, and you said, "Hey, I'm just watching over you,
Right.
because I've been in this field for a long time, and I know what could happen to you, so you have to be careful." So yeah, and yeah, uh, I totally understand you, where you're coming
Okay.
from, and the type of person you are, and I I respect you, and you've been in the fields for a long time, and yeah,
Okay, so we brought you on the show, and I just want to ask you if there was anything, that you haven't already released out there that people are not aware of, because I know you do quite a few interviews and you also are speaking out on the circuit, so to speak. That's what we call it. So is there anything you want to talk about for my audience that might be relatively new on the scene? Are you dealing, for example, with Three Eye Atlas or anything related to that? Or is there any other area of, are you aware, for example, of Lahaina, how that was an attack by aspects of our military that were traitors, and the fact that there was, ETs battling our troops underground in Lahaina, things like that, where is there some area, it doesn't have to be that, it could be anywhere on the planet really, that you want to bring anything forward while you're still on my show?
yeah, they're gonna bring out more information uh about what is consciousness and how remote viewing is used in the military. I know that information is going to come out more mainstream now. You know how they are bringing out the aliens and all that. Now they're going to bring out, you know, um, abilities that people have and why they use these abilities. So keep an eye out for that. And also, um, they're going to talk more about the arcs or ships or Vimanos or whatever the heck people want to call them. You
Sure.
know,
Okay. So, in terms of what they're going to talk about, in other words, do they ask you, you say you don't work for them, and I'm not sure what year you stopped working for them. Do you have a year when you stopped?
last year I retired from the military.
Okay, so 2025. Anyway, but do you have like they give you, even though you don't work for them, a stem like people retire from the CIA and you say once in the CIA, always in the CIA. So they
Once a
could they
soldier,
could
always a soldier carry.
Okay. So they can tap you and your abilities anytime and give you even, a day job or a week job, that kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like in my understanding, we would call that a contractor, somebody who can go out on a specific job, assignment temporarily. Okay. So you could do that, right?
Yeah, yeah. They can call me up and say, "Hey, meet up in this location. We need you to go this place," and I go. Yeah,
Okay. Now, you know what's happening with the white hats to some degree or not?
I know we're winning. I know the White Hats are winning. I know
Okay.
that.
So are you paying attention to that story, to what's going on in terms of, like you said, we're winning. So you have a consciousness that you can interact with various ETs and, I know you've talked about beings. I don't know if you have anything to say about them here, but any beings, any interactions that you've had that my audience might be interested in. And did you communicate telepathically with that, whatever race it was, that kind of thing?
Well, it's telepathically, but I think they use a certain a radio type of frequency or technology that they have that can penetrate the 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 neurons of our brain. Every electron in the world or everything that you see, every electron, if you look under a telescope, every electron and proton looks the same. Okay, so the electron or proton that's here or anywhere else, they look the same. So everything is connected. So I guess the technology that they have is like it's a device that makes you hear their inner voice in your own language, and it's telepathically connected to your
Okay.
brain. Yeah. And the grays, a lot of people talk about the grays. I think they have I seen them once from a distance, and you can smell. They smell really bad, like if you burn chalk or something like that. It's really terrible.
Okay.
But I haven't interacted with the Greys. The only ETs I have interacted with was the ant people. Well, they live in our inner heart of our Earth. They look like ants. Their eyes look like Asian, similar to this size, and their lips are smaller, their nose are smaller, and they got these hairs that come out that looks like antennae, but it's like dreads that come out like this, and they look like ants. But if you cut the dreads out and you put a uniform on them, people might confuse them with grays. It's weird. Like if you dress them different, people might confuse these beings as grays. So I just want to put
Okay.
that out there.
So, um, I sent you a thing about the Courtney Brown remote viewers who are dealing with, actually, they had what they call a board meeting with, I think it was more or less two insectoids. I don't know if they were the exact same race from the same race, but they were there having basically a telepathic communication. Did you happen to watch that, or have you seen any of those board meetings type things they're
No, I
doing?
haven't seen that, but I will see it. You send
Okay,
me a
I was
link.
just curious. All right. In terms of, you're out on the circuit and you're kind of going day to day. Um, you have kids, right?
I do.
And do you like share some of your experiences with them and that sort of thing?
They know, but I don't get them involved.
Okay, but like
Too rated R.
don't you live near a forest? Because I remember there was some kind of story about the forest near your
I
house or
do.
something.
I do. I live 20 minutes from Alabama, but I'm still in
Uh-huh.
Florida. So, and like 40 minutes from Eglin. So,
Right. Um, okay, are you happy with the books that have been written by about you, or did you read them and edit them, or have any input about them, or anything like that?
no, I'm happy. I'm happy um what Dr. Sala wrote about my experiences. So it's really about what I have said and told him, my experiences.
Uh-huh. And did he tape record you in order to get those
Yep.
books?
Yep. Yep, he take recorded every conversation and it's registered on his exopolitics.org.
Uh-huh. Okay. Um, so are you aware that the military is conflicted over the ET disclosure thing? I assume you're aware of that, right?
Conflicted in which way? I'm sorry.
Some parts of the military want disclosure and some don't.
Yes, yes. I totally agree with that. Some people want disclosure and the bad guys don't want disclosure.
Okay. Um, and have you ever had a dialogue or interaction with a reptilian?
I have in Orlando. I interacted with. They took me into this van, and I went to a ramp with this van, and I saw a reptilian. He was huge. I think he was like 7 feet.
Okay.
Um, his smile was like up to here. You could see his smile up to here,
Okay.
and but I never interacted like he that we went through this place that I saw them guarding it, but I never uh like talked or I saw a reptilian. Yeah, I seen a reptilian.
Okay. So you were abducted by some Japanese. What were they? Were they ninjas or were they
No,
a race of beings?
no, it was crazy because these people look Indian. They look from India. Not they didn't look Japanese.
Oh, I see.
So when I woke up the next morning, my whole phone was translated in Hindi. So I was like, what the heck is going on? Why is my whole phone translated into Hindi? They tried to hack my phone and they tried to change a couple things, but I think it was part of in the Indian black ops, or I don't know who they are, but they were evil. They're not from India, but they look Indian descendant, from India. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm going to ask you one last question, then I'm going to look in the chat and see if there's a question there that somebody like a burning question they have or something. So are you aware of the gray human hybrid program?
Yeah. I'm
Okay, and
aware
are you, go ahead.
that's yeah that could be happening. Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
would have been
it is
happening since the
happening.
1950s, so you know,
It is happening. Yeah, and people are scared to talk about it.
why? I mean, it's in a movie called The X-Men. I mean, it's not that difficult to.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So yeah,
there's
it's happening.
tons of abductees that have talked about their experience, you know, all that kind of thing, and written books. I mean, it's been
Hmm.
going on since the 1950s, literally. So that's, what is that, 70 years, more than 70 years.
Yeah,
So it's really kind of stupid to be unsure of it or hesitant over it. I mean, it seems like, duh. I mean, like, hello. And then when you look at the influx from our border, you know, some of those people look, as you said, you can't always tell someone's nationality. Sometimes they look like they're from India, or they could
yeah,
look like they're from Indonesia, or, you know, or Japanese even, or wherever, yeah, right?
yeah.
So, just so you're aware of that, right? Have
I'm
you ever
aware of
been
that.
sent down to deal with any of the, you know, young military men that have come in through our borders? Have you ever had to get involved in any of that?
No.
Okay. Because they in theory do have abilities that come from the grays. You know, you understand that's why.
Yeah,
So I think I sent my article to you. I don't know if you had time to read it. Maybe you didn't. It was only yesterday. I think I did. But anyway, the thing is that if you have abilities, then you know other people that have abilities. You know what I mean? You can kind of communicate in a way that if one person doesn't have abilities and the other one does, then there's kind of a block, right?
yeah.
Okay. So that's why I was asking you because it's kind of a logical thing to ask under these circumstances. We're kind of in a a border war, if you will, right?
Yeah, yeah, we are at a war that we can't see, but it's happening.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here, JP. Maybe we could do this again sometime when you have some new stuff you want to talk about. Let me see if anybody in my chat room has asked any burning questions that I see. So we've already asked if he knows about the white hats, and he said yes. So that's one of the questions here. Um, okay. I don't, it's kind of hard because I don't actually see any question marks at the moment. Here's one. What the tech did the underwater bases use to breathe? How were they, I guess, what was the tech for breathing underwater inside those arcs? I guess they're asking.
The technology, I think they have the ability, the ship itself, the membrane of the ship itself have the ability to convert the water molecules and extract the oxygen similar to a gill of a fish, something like that. So
So you would say that the UFO or the arc is has a consciousness kind of
it
thing.
has a consciousness. It's alive. That shit
Okay.
is alive.
Okay.
They're alive.
So do you like them, the arcs?
I feel peace. Um, when I entered these arcs, yeah, I felt a sense of peace and calm when you enter to these places. Yeah, I felt it.
Okay. All right.
It,
Well,
it's weird the way we get into them, but it's once you enter, you feel like you're in another realm. You feel different.
okay. Can you explain that statement? It's weird when you get into them. Don't you go on in a little ship, on a submersible, or or do you go in a little UFO, or what do you go in?
Um, it's a it's a massive Navy ship that we have that looks like the shape of a donut. So it's huge. They can land on it, and they can unland on it, and it has an elevator that goes down with a metallic,
Okay.
something metallic that connects to the ship
Uh-huh.
and enters the ship. And I think they penetrated the ship, and it has a suction that holds the right. It pushes down the pressure that we feel on top into the ship. So
I see.
the
So,
oxygen is good. It smells like mint and vanilla and algae.
how deep do you know how many miles down the ship or
It's
ships?
not miles. It's not miles. It's I think it's on a bank of sand, so it's not really deep.
Like sort of into the side of a cliff or something, like
Yeah, yeah. It's
underwater?
not it's not in the dark side, the deep side, deep, deep. Now the cities, the ET cities of these beings is deeper. Yeah, their cities are deeper.
Have you visited any of those cities?
I have entered into and I saw these stones are like see-through and these pyramids and they're all connected with tubes and we are interacting with people that are really tall. They don't look like Nordics, but they're really slinky looking. They look like the Avatar characters.
Okay.
Um,
What about the one in Greenland? Did you go to that one yet?
no, no, but I know Alex Curlier. He talked about it before, but I knew there was a ship there. There's a massive ship or arc type of arc there. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I never visited.
Okay.
The only one I visited was the Pacific and Atlantic, and I have memories of the Oleski Sands arc over there and the moon. I remember visiting the arc over there. But
Okay. Oleski, what were you saying about Oleski? What's that?
Oleski Sands is a national park in South Ukraine that right now is taken over
Oh,
by Russia.
oh, really?
Okay.
So, Did you learn anything about that particular location or, you know,
Each arc, like that one, has um like certain cells of different organisms. The one in the Atlantic has like types of like plants and historical uh, artifacts that connects with different civilizations. The one in the Pacific um, connect with the spirituality part of what's in our world and how it connects to everything. Um, so
okay, so the one
the,
in the Pacific, is it connected? Because you say they're connected to history, like Lemuria. So that would be Lemuria or Mu.
it could be, yeah, it could be. And then the one in the Atlantic could be like the lost city of Atlantis, if people call it like that. I don't know.
Okay, well, that's off the coast of Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah,
You're from there, right?
I'm
So,
from New York. I was born in New York, upstate.
oh,
My parents from Puerto Rico.
I see. Was your dad in the military? I can't remember what you said.
No, no, my dad was not in the military. My uncle was. He was a
Okay,
bomb inspector.
I see. Okay. Um, well, you know, I could sit here and pepper you with questions for the next 6 hours, but I think we'll just have that be enough. Is there anything that you want to say again to my audience, just in general, maybe looking forward in the future, whatever you want to say?
Um, don't stop searching for the truth. Don't stop searching for what you think is real and good for humanity, good for our kids, good for our family. You know, don't give up. The dark side is not going to sleep. So we have to not sleep either, and work together and be be part of something that's going to happen that is going to help humanity, not break humanity. So I leave it as that. And Kuria Mate, heaven to earth. We all want heaven to earth.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, JP, for sharing bits and pieces of your experiences and, kind of going through the chronology so people maybe have a better understanding of how you got involved in everything, because I'm sure there's lots of curiosity out there. And not everyone has all the time to read books and all that. I know because I write books. I don't know who reads them, but we try to write books, but I don't know how many people
A
read
lot
them.
of people read them.
All right. I hope so. That would be nice. Anyway, videos are very popular, so it's a good way to get things across. And yeah, thank you for being, who you are and for all your wonderful abilities and for helping humanity at this time in our trajectory.
Thank you, Carrie. It was a pleasure being here in your show, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. And thanks everyone for watching. Stay safe and let's look to the future because it could be positive, really, for humanity. Some good things happening, I think, in spite of the difficult times perhaps ahead. All right. Take care. Bye bye.